AMD benefited from the pandemic. Lyft did not. Lyft was down 26% in after hours yesterday, reporting that they just can't find drivers. There is a lot of demand, but they can't get people to drive, primarily because people are quitting their jobs and they don't really want to do these types of part-time gigs. Lyft was always an interesting story to me because Uber was the stock that like made the revolutionary change in the world from getting rid of cabs and taxis to making this permissionless system of driving. And then Lyft just copied them and they IPO'd at $75 and now they're down to like the low or high 20s. Justin, what are your thoughts on Lyft? Can it actually become a company that reaches $75 again?
So for the past 2 years, actually, for Roic members, we had owned Uber over Lyft because of it being kind of a special, interesting, diversified back to the economy play. And we liked Uber because they have the platform play. They're creating the future of mobility. And also, by the way, Uber moved up its earnings report to basically be like, no, we're doing well, and Lyft is just doing really poorly. So Lyft to me is just this pure play mobility app, and at this point, mobility ride hailing is a commodity.
A commodity. Yep.
Uber has the mobility app where you can get basically mobility, food delivery, you get grocery delivery, I think they have alcohol delivery. Someone correct me in the comments, maybe they bought Drizzly, something like that. And then they also have Uber Freight, et cetera, et cetera. So they're much more diversified. So when stay at home is good, food delivery does well. When they have a return to mobility, people are already kind of addicted to the Uber app. So they go to Uber. I find myself going to Uber first for mobility. So I think Lyft is actually a concern. Like, I don't know if they'll be around in 10 years.
Tom, would you ever buy Lyft or any of the mobility apps?
Hell no. I'm not a big fan of Uber, but Uber are definitely climbing out of the hellhole they were in. So it's kind of a funny, I'm going to go on a little rant. So
what Lyft has done here, rant. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Palantir boys, sit your ass back down. Listen. So I'm just kidding. I love you.
Who's talking? You're not kidding.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm a Palantir boy. I mean,
Palantirs.
We like the island boys, you and me.
Palantirs.
We're the Palantir boys, you and me. We just so I shouldn't be throwing stones, you know. But all that aside, look, Lyft took the worst part of Uber's business, the only part that made no sense, that was just there to create growth, and basically was a losing business, which is the ride-hailing business. It never made sense to me. And then they took that and they copied that shit. I mean, my guy, this was a loss leader to begin with. This was never designed to make money. So their whole business is built on the only thing in Uber that was never supposed to make money. Now, that's not me saying that. Look at the numbers. They're sitting on $200 million of cash. They're burning through about 150 million a year. In about a year, they're going to run out of cash. This is a company that has no growth in revenues for the past 3 years. They're never made money. They're never been cash flow positive. They're basically a copycat of a shitty business. I mean, that's not for me. Sorry.
Interesting. Okay. I'm just going to add, I'm pretty sure the story behind Uber was that Lyft had the idea first and Uber kind of ended up pivoting more towards, and they both pivoted to a similar kind of area. I remember Uber, didn't they start as like a black car concept more?
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever. I mean, I guess in today's day and era, maybe Lyft is the copycat, like the ugly redheaded stepchild of Uber. But yeah, I mean, who copied who? Put it in the comments. I think someone probably is more up to date on that story. Yeah, I don't know. Was it?
So you guys don't, it wasn't even, that's the crazy part. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk speak about Uber and stuff. And he actually mentioned, he was using this as an example of how ideas are basically nothing compared to execution, right? It's 99% execution. So he was basically saying it's not Uber, it's not Lyft. There used to be a company in LA in 2014 called Taxi Magic, which was essentially Uber and Lyft. But and they had the idea way earlier, like Xerox, you know, all these stories. The world is full of these stories. So it's not about who got it first. I mean, Taxi Magic doesn't exist today because they couldn't execute. It does. The Xerox is not Microsoft because they couldn't execute. So it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, you had these guys basically go balls deep into a business model that don't make no sense. I mean, How would you make money from ride hailing at subsidized prices unless you pivot into these more interesting ventures like Uber did? I don't understand this
Also,
company.
if you believe in the Tesla robotaxi network, I think, and you believe, if you're someone who believes that's coming in 5 to 10 years, you can't invest in either.
That's a very good point.
The only good thing about Lyft was the Shack commercials. That was hilarious.
And the fuzzy mustaches, those were cool.
Yeah, that was good.